I'm Katie Martin.
And I'm Chris Hicks, and we're Extension Agents with the University of Tennessee.
Every day, Extension agents in 95 counties across the state help ensure Tennesseans have better farms, homes, and communities.
We're traveling the Upper Cumberland to introduce you to the farmers, families, and Extension agents who are cultivating communities.
It is a beautiful fall morning here in Middle Tennessee, and we are headed to Rutherford County today. When you think of Rutherford County, you may think of Murfreesboro, which is a big city, but there's actually still quite a bit of agriculture in Rutherford County. Isn't that right, Chris?
That's right. We're looking forward to hanging out with Rebecca Norman, Mitchell Moat, and exploring the diverse agriculture community in Rutherford County. Hop on with us. Let's enjoy the day.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Mitchell Moat, and I'm an agricultural extension agent here in Rutherford County. And this is my co-worker, Rebecca Norman. Boy, we appreciate y'all coming down this morning to spend some time here with a couple of producers in Rutherford County. We're looking forward to it. I think you're going to see a couple of very different operations here. You know, Rutherford County has changed a lot over the years in terms of agriculture. You know, there was a time that this was the #1 dairy county in Tennessee with over, 200 dairies. And right now you'll be hard pressed to find more than one, I guess. The demand for land has gotten really strong here, and not from an agricultural standpoint. When you look at ag statistics for the county, you compare the most recent ones to the previous one. It says the total number of farms in Rutherford County have increased. Went from 1,200 odd farms to 1,400 odd farms, but the acreage size is diminished by 25 acres and averaging somewhere in the neighborhood of 108 or so acres. And during that same time period, though, we've lost like 25,000 acres of land from one census to the next. Rutherford County has been a traditional agricultural county over the years, but it sure has changed. But we've got a population of over 250,000 people. We're approaching over 300,000. We're at some point here in the near future we'll probably hit 500,000 people. But that brings a whole new set of clientele to the Extension office, and folks trying to help them get a handle on living and growing in a landscape or a garden here in Middle Tennessee takes up a fair amount of our time. But with that being said, we still grow in the field crops here, just not to the same degree. I think this year, in terms of planted acreage, somewhere in the neighborhood 25,000 acres in your traditional grains, wheat and corn and soybeans, and believe it or not, we've still got some cotton here. Probably about as far north in Tennessee as you're going to find cotton growing, I expect.
So we still have quite a bit of livestock in Rutherford County, predominantly cattle, then sheep and goats, and then some horses as well. And so, in our ground, some people would say not all of it is adequate or appropriate for row crops, but we can grow grass really well in Rutherford County. So whenever I think about that much acreage for pasture, forage, or hay, I think what kind of animals are we feeding? So it's predominantly cattle, but you will see in this county that all of our producers here are experiencing pressure from development. And so you're going to hear some stories from people that are doing some unusual things in order to be able to continue to farm in an environment like we have here in Rutherford County.
The Extension office here, we're very blessed. We have a great facility here at Land Agri Park. We've got an excellent office facility, and then the grounds and the complex itself with the livestock barn and the farmers market, community center building, etc. So that helps. That makes a great resource for the citizens of Rutherford County from an extension program standpoint. I mentioned the community center, we do operate a farmer-only market here, our farmer-producer market, where folks that are selling in this farmer's market, they're the growers, they're producers. That's a requirement. It's a producer-only market. That's managed by the Extension Office here. The 4-H program, for example, now we still have traditional, some of the more traditional 4-H projects, activities. Livestock is a very active program. Kids participating in showing the various species of livestock, but also shooting sports, especially the archery side of it. You know, the community center allows is a great place for that, because you've got this huge space where they can always have indoor practice and have multiple levels of experience. And then, you know, what we're standing out here now, this outdoor learning pavilion, classroom, and so on, is surrounded by gardens that are maintained by the Rutherford County Master Gardener.
We've got 2 family and consumer science agents, and I know they are running around offering programs all the time.
A lot of traditional things in terms of food preservation, whether it's canning or whether it's freezing, but food preservation. The new home buyer education for those folks that are going through those programs that require that in order for them to qualify for whatever type of mortgage it is they're going for, and that's been a real resource for those people. It helps them out, and it's a good program for Extension to be involved with, because again, you can create that relationship in the community, and it helps to get folks to learn about what Extension is. And once they get in that house, then we're sharing information with those new home buyer program graduates or participants about lawn care, about gardening, landscape management, maintenance, establishment, etc., things like that. So absolutely, that's going on. Health and wellness, living with long-term illnesses like diabetes and things like that. I know that the FCS program addresses those things and related topics as well. So this morning we're ready to head out to visit our first producer that we're going to highlight here in Rutherford County. We're going to head out into the Blackman community to one of the Century Farms here, heading out to Batey Farms.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Witt, and I'm the owner-operator here with our family at Batey Farms. We're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is the geographical center of the state of Tennessee. Our farm dates back to 1807. It was originally a Revolutionary War land grant from our ancestor service in the Revolutionary War, and now my children make the 8th generation to live here on the same family farm in the metropolis now of Murfreesboro. Here at Batey Farms, we've been everything from a hog operation to a cotton gin and mill, beef cattle farm. This things have a blacksmith shop used to be here to serve the community. So many different things that you just evolved over time, and as the community has changed, so has the farm to adapt and to change to fit the modern day needs of what's around us. So today we row crop about 2,700 acres of row crops. That's focused a lot on food grade corn production, soybeans that go into oil markets. We do a lot of small grains with wheat, barley, and rye going into the distillery markets here in Tennessee. And then we do a lot of custom processing to go into those finished markets as well, whether it's milling, cleaning, bagging, that type of grain to work intricately with our end-use customers. We also do a lot of strawberries. We do a U-pick strawberry farm. We raise about 6.5 acres of strawberries. Murfreesboro now is a metropolis of about 370,000 people that live in Rutherford County, and so years ago, as my wife and I really started to take over the farm as this generation, 20 years ago that population was 160,000. And that's grown exponentially over the last 20 years. And so finding a way to adapt and to change into what is now our modern day world, as people are farther and farther away from agriculture, they do tend to find themselves wanting to come get just a little piece of it from here and there. So we really opened our gates up to the community to invite people in to learn about agriculture, to see and to pick the crops, and to be involved in that, literally just 3 or 4 miles down the road from several 100,000 customers, we're able to provide an opportunity for them to come out and for the children to learn about agriculture and to see real agriculture in work on a daily basis. The challenge is continuing to have enough space to do agriculture. The blessing is there's a ready-made market sitting here available to you. How you connect those two and how you protect those two are what are the ultimate challenge for us as encroachment comes from commercial and residential and land and the need for new roads and the need for new infrastructure all around us. The pressure to cave those walls in and to come closer and closer to us is not going away. But at the same time, those new pressures or those continued pressures open doors for us to go direct to market to our neighbors that live right here around us. I grew up in Lebanon, Tennessee, in a little community of Noreen, which is southern Wilson County. Right on the Rutherford-Wilson County line is where I grew up. And of course, my wife, we're here on the western side of Rutherford County, so not too far apart. But Catherine and I met at MTSU, an animal science class, and both of us were agriculture majors. She was an ag and nutrition major, and I was an ag and marketing major at MTSU. And so when we both graduated from there, you know, it was just our purpose to continue the farm operation. And she works on a daily basis. She handles a lot of our paperwork. She handles a lot of the logistics, the billing. She works our strawberry patch here. She's our main, she's in charge of the strawberry patch. She handles all the employment for it, handles the daily operations during strawberry picking. So it's a family affair. I mean, we have 4 children that range from 17 to 8, and every one of them work here on the farm, whether it's driving a hay wagon to go pick hay up or planting strawberries, which we'll be doing here tomorrow. We'll start planting tomorrow afternoon for strawberries. And so kids get out of school, they'll be home planting strawberries in the evening. So for us, for where we live, teaches them obviously a value of hard work, the ethics and the sense of community that it teaches them. I don't think kids get enough of that nowadays. That's something that we've always tried to instill in our children is, nothing comes easy. You're never gonna have things just handed to you. The value of hard work and the perseverance and the effort you have to put into things can reap great rewards. Strawberry picking season typically begins in Tennessee the last week or so of April and will continue through about the second week of June. Folks can always jump on our website. We do a lot of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of that good social media stuff, but they can follow us on any of those at Batey Farms 1807, and that'll get them into the know of what's going on and happening at the farm. With as big of a county as we have and as municipal of a county as we have, we're still really fortunate to have such a very strong extension office here in Rutherford County that does everything from home gardening all the way up to big production agriculture. And so any questions that I have, Mr. Moat and Kevin Ferguson and Rebecca, they're always there to, if they don't know the answer, they know where to go to help find the answer. And that's kind of the part of agriculture that, gets overlooked a lot of times is it's the community of agriculture, and it's the consensus of searching and finding the answer. You can't remember all of this. When I go back to what we first said as being diversified, that means my knowledge gets thinner and thinner the more we spread out. When you're so specifically concentrated on things, it's one thing to know the operation, but when you spread out and you're always relying on, I've got my sources to go to for, my fruit and vegetable crops. I've got my sources through extension to go for my row crop, development. And, we do such a good job here as UT Extension and as a whole to put on producer forums and to teach about upcoming ways and upcoming markets and things within agriculture that really help us ultimately to keep this land that we fight so hard to keep. Because if we can't be productive on it, then there's no way we're going to be able to pass it on to the next generation. And so people sometimes ask the value of UT Extension. Well, to me, it's always about helping bridge that gap from one generation to the next.
Next, we're going to the farm of Ray Radford. Ray's a Corriente breeder, and he is making urban farming work by marketing his cattle directly to consumers. He's literally 3 miles from the heart of Smyrna.
I'm Ray Radford. I'm in Smyrna, Tennessee. We raise Corriente cattle. We try to market every piece of the cow. We raise meat birds. We don't do a whole lot. We sell fresh, free-range eggs. We do honeybees. In beef, we sell halves, wholes, quarters. We sell hamburger at the house all the time in 1 pound packs, and we do on-farm harvesting. We have several ethnic groups that, Laotians, Egyptians, people from Burma, India, those are our big ones. When they have a big holiday, we kill a lot of cattle. Christmas, we'll kill 20 beefs on the farm. Easter, we'll kill 20 on the farm. Eid is an Indian holiday. It's the celebration of the sacrifice when Abraham was going to sacrifice his son and God provided a sacrifice. So it's a big ritual, so things have to happen just so. We sell everything to the hoofs, the ears for dogs' treats. If somebody leaves, say the stomach, intestines, anything, we can have somebody here in 40 minutes to pick it up and pay for it. 15 years ago, Laotian named Bull brought his little boy, he's 3 years old, Danny. He said, Danny can't eat anything out of plastic from Kroger's or Walmart. He has an allergic reaction. And I said, we had just killed a beef, so I can give him 3 packs of hamburger. And I said, try this. It's minimal processing. And we harvest cows so fast, if they're less than 3, they've never seen a vaccine. So Bowl took the hamburger home, Danny ate it, and he calls me and he goes, oh, Mr. Ray, he said, Danny's doing good. First time ever eat meat out of plastic, he's doing good. I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. In 60 days, I've got 30 Laotian customers. The deal on selling cattle to the ethnic groups was a trust. Buddy, once that trust comes, oh man, it's huge. Now, we still do American conventional beefs at the processor. We still do that. And that's how we started. I got to the place I had to focus on something because I had no money. And I focused on Corrientes because I could have a lot of cattle and I could lease them out. There's several ways. I've always said it's like a wagon wheel. There's no one set way to market a Corriente. The markets are there, you just kind of have to look. And one year if it doesn't work, just turn that wheel and there's another spoke you can pursue. This has served us well, and I like it. It's me, it's just me. And the cows are crazy gentle. I mean, now they're protective, but any cow's protective of a baby. They're beautiful. Now, there are a lot of people in the association who raise only solid color cattle. That's not me. That does nothing for me. I like color. So we have a rodeo market. We have an exotic market of, hey, rodeo cow, I'm putting my front yard, I'm a rodeo person. To have a cow in your front yard, she's gonna produce you a calf you could eat or you could sell. Selling at the livestock barn's not a good idea with these cattle. They're mean to you. It does not fit the cookie cutter. Now, selling to your neighbors a beef, they'll bring more than a cow to sell barn. It takes a little legwork, but it doesn't take much. Hey, look at these pictures of my cow, you know? We sell fresh free-range eggs. We sell meat birds. Those are things to attract people, because if somebody comes in and buys any kind of meat from us, beef, they will buy eggs, they'll buy meat chicken, they'll buy honey. and it's just a little something else. We are on Pick Tennessee products. Yes, we are. And I get a lot of hits off Pick Tennessee. I've got a lot of customers off Pick Tennessee. Now, our Laotian, our ethnic groups that come and harvest on the farm, it's word of mouth.
Ray has made cattle production work in one of the most populated counties in Tennessee. He's done so by marketing and tapping into the diversity of Rutherford County. He's built relationships with clients through word of mouth. We enjoyed visiting with Ray and learning about his on-farm processing techniques.
We had some great stops in Rutherford County. I love seeing how these agriculturalists are making it work in an urban area, how they're inviting the consumer out to their farm, how they're selling direct to the consumer. Some really interesting stops today.
You know, trying to get equipment around even Smith County is a challenge. I can't imagine trying to get some of the equipment around Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, as populated as it is. But we've got farmers making it work, and they're learning how, and they're adapting, and they're using this expanding market as an opportunity, and it's really neat to learn about that. We really appreciate Rebecca and Mitchell showing us around. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like us on YouTube, subscribe to that YouTube channel, and join us next month for Cultivating Communities. All right, this is take 12.
I love seeing how